let's talk, shall we, about the game of the day yesterday. Now, we thought going in it would be the Battle of the Bays, the GOATs. We actually had live GOATs on NFL Network yesterday, and Brady and Aaron Rodgers jerseys in advance of that. Game of the day was in the AFC East. I can't remember the last time we said that. I can't remember. Maybe when I was in college. I'm serious. Right? Because before
Richard Todd slinging the rock.
I mean, as we all know, the Belichick era, it was just them. You know, the Bills kind of surprise people every now and then. The Jets grounded and pounded, whatever. Must-see TV. I said it last week in 5 things that I know about this season so far is that the Dolphins, for the first time in a quarter century, are must-see television. I also said number 1 is that the Bills are bona fide soul snatchers because they've not only beaten up their opponents, they've left them on the side of the road wondering about their existences. The Rams week 1 and the Titans in week 2. And yesterday, the Bills went into South Florida, 100-degree weather, short week game, short roster on the back end. No Jordan Poyer, no Micah Hyde. Tre'Davious White is still out. They had a very green secondary going into that game. No Ed Oliver up front. Gabe Davis, who was that weird, did not play last week after showing up on a injury report 2 nights before a Monday night game. He was back, but
didn't really get targeted.
I don't know how the Bills pulled it off yesterday, keeping it as close as they did and keeping the Dolphins down, but they did. And it was just a wild affair. A wild affair that featured everything from a botched fake spike at the end of the first half against the Dolphins, where it looked like that they were going to try and spike it.
I think he fumbled it, actually.
And then it was a bad actual snap. And then he faked it and then threw it out to Stephon Diggs.
That almost got pick six.
And then we saw before that, Tua Tagovailoa bang his head on the turf, get up like he just got through 60 seconds with Mike Tyson back in the day. And Teddy Bridgewater comes in the game, and you think, okay, that's not only it for Tua today, but maybe this week. And the Dolphins have a short week. They start week 4 against the Bengals on Thursday night. Tua comes back. Hello. And not only does he come back, he looks pretty damn clear-headed as he, in the fourth quarter, on a 3rd and 22 from his own 47, needing to get essentially to the opposing 30-yard line to keep the drive alive, goes up top to Jalen Waddle. And it's the first time the Bills, despite their green secondary, gets beat deep all day. And then the Dolphins somehow stop the Bills multiple times despite Josh Allen putting it up 60-plus times in 100-degree weather and putting together long-ass 6-7 minute long drives against this defense, and suddenly the defense stiffens. Stephon Diggs is cramping like crazy. He's going in and out of the game. And the Bills get stopped on the doorstep. And the Dolphins have just got to try and run out the clock. But instead, on 3rd and long, instead of running the ball so the Bills, who are out of timeouts, can't stop the clock, and you go run it down, and maybe if you got to punt it back to the Bills, you put the pressure on them with less time left on the clock. Mike McDaniel calls for a pass. Incomplete. Thomas Morstead's got a punt from the back of his end zone, and he kicks the punt right in the ass of the man who's blocking for him. A butt punt. Let me repeat. A butt punt. And just when you thought the Dolphins could win this game, you're thinking, that tain't happening.
Hey, now.
Wait a minute. The butt punt actually did lead to 2.
Hey.
Because it went off the cushion and goes out of the end zone for a safety.
Jeez.
And now the Bills are going to get good field position, and all they need is a field goal to win. And they start driving again. And it's just like, is this game going to end? How's it going to end? It ends with Josh Allen somehow, some way. Just like his first year. Couldn't get the proper footing, had a wide open receiver to hit, and winds up dirting it. Game over. He puts his hand in the turf. I mean, it just, and then the last weird thing that would happen in this game, the booth cam on offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey with something that will live forever, him just tearing up his workspace. In full-on tantrum.
That was amazing. And then
the hand
at the end, blocking the camera.
Let's help coach out a little bit here. Somebody decides, let's block that camera.
That was the best
by the
part,
way, whoever did that, very savvy member of the staff.
Assist of the year.
Holy cow. I said it the other day. When the Dolphins did what they did to the Ravens. I said that the Dolphins have reshuffled the deck in the AFC, that they could actually win the conference if Tua is throwing it the way he is throwing it. And when he went out yesterday, he proved his value by his absence. That's what happens sometimes. Teddy Bridgewater looked lost. I know it's very difficult to just get in a game against a team like the Bills. But reshuffled the deck indeed. This team can win this division. They're already up 1. And I don't know, man. I don't know. Just when you think, how sustainable could this be? They don't even have to score a ton of points. Defensively, they got after Josh Allen in a way that the Rams didn't, in a way that the Titans couldn't. They got after him. Melvin Ingram. He has been born again in South Florida. Woo! Is he bringing the heat? They got back-end presence as well. Ooh. And the Bills, man, I will just say this about the Bills. And to the Bills Mafia. RELAX. If you're at any way, shape, or form concerned about that. Well, we were unbalanced. Yeah, we still can't run it. Oh, my gosh, we're banged up on the back end. I'm just going to say this. You should go back to Buffalo, and the Bills should go back to Buffalo and say, we just took on absolutely the next best team in our division. And that's how I would look at the Dolphins if I'm the Bills. We just faced the next best team in our division in their house, where weird stuff happens to everyone. Hello, Miami Miracle. Just for instance, weird stuff happens to everyone down in Miami. It was 100 degrees. It was a short week game for them. Cramping all over the place. We don't even have our best players on the back end of defense at all. And we held Waddle and Hill down. Hill for much of the game, and for most of it, if not all the game, and Waddle for much of it. You knocked Tua out. I don't know how the hell he came back, and that's what we're going to talk about with Tom Pelissero later on in hour number 3, because he was stumbling around like he was a punch-drunk fighter. And he comes back in the game, looked terrific in spots, an MVP-type throw, which is what we would call it if it was somebody not named Tua going up top to Jalen Waddle to set up the go-ahead score. Put it all together, though. If you're Buffalo, you're like, this is the only way we could have gotten beat. Banged up, shorthanded, cramping, and we still damn near won the game. And we made a ton of mistakes. We left it out on the field, literally and figuratively. And we still almost won the damn thing to stay undefeated. So take heart, Buffalo. You might be looking up at Miami for a while. I don't know. That's going to be a tough game for them. Short week coming off of that draining performance while the Bengals kind of put their feet up on the Jets table yesterday in New Jersey. But that's my opinion. Dolphins showed they can definitely win this conference, and the Bills showed you're going to have to really put it together like that in order to beat us.